Good evening and a happy August, friends. It's Heather at Bush Poppy Farm. I hope you're doing well. This evening, I'd like to take you on a little garden tour. It's been really hot today. It's still pretty hot out here, but it is around 6 p.m. and I'm hoping that the light will cooperate and we can get a nice little tour out of this evening. So, the other day, I posted a video on doing some garden cleanup in the cottage garden part of the property, and what you'll see today is a lot of garden cleanup that I need to do in the veggie garden. So that is just how things look in August. Some things are dead, some things are ready for replacement, a lot of things are overgrown, but that's okay. That is the nature of the garden. So we're going to start with the raised beds up front. As you can see, we've got, well, first the wild blackberry from the creek side keeps encroaching here, and that is full of thorns. So I got to take that puppy out. This is all mint that has gone to flower. I just need to cut all that back. Actually, this is lemon balm right here, but the rest of this is mint. I will harvest all that and turn it into tea, dry it to turn it into tea. But we do have tomatoes in here. Some are putting on fruit. Others have done absolutely nothing, and that's okay. I'm not super concerned. This celery has gone to seed, as you can see, and it's making the pollinators happy, so I'm leaving it for now. There is a pepper plant hiding in here. I don't think it's producing anything. This is okra, and I don't know, I mean, it's so small at this point, but I doubt anything's gonna happen with that this year. Again, look at all this mint. Yes, it's overgrown and wild, but like I said, I always just cut it back and dry it for tea. Now, some of these tomato plants have produced some fruits, and we're just waiting on those to ripen. And then over here, we've got some corn. There are ears on all of this corn. I don't know how good they got pollinated, and I'm not sure that I'll be able to harvest them before the rats get to them, but I'm monitoring them daily. And again, more of this wild blackberry creeping through here. The reason I pull it out is that it's full of thorns. And you can see this is coming from back here. I got to cut all that out because this is the blackberry that I've planted, and it has no thorns. It's triple crown. It climbs along the fence, and look, this is just a single season of growth, this big long cane here. This cane will produce fruit next year, and we'll do some major pruning on this in the fall. Okay, so I definitely need to come in and clean that up. This is a poplar tree that is growing into the fence here because we have some up there. And we also have a grape back here, which does have a little cluster of grapes on it. They're being eaten at this point, so I don't know. I probably won't get any again this year. This pomegranate flowered beautifully for me this year, and no fruit. So I don't know. This is the third year. Maybe next year we'll get some fruit. We've got sweet potatoes in here. We've got sweet potatoes in these bags. And this is the pepper bed. And as you can see, we are getting some peppers, but they're all doing this weird thing where like hang on to the flower at the end, and it's like girdling them. It's so bizarre. So yeah, or they're like completely drying up. I don't know, it's weird. Like they're producing a lot, but they're not pickable. They never get to a size that is harvestable. They get these weird burn marks on them. So it's kind of annoying. We do have some jalapenos back there though, thank goodness. And these are cachuchas, I think. I do have them marked. No, that's Sugar Rush Peach. So those are producing. Maybe we can make some good hot sauce out of them. More sweet potatoes here. Sweet potatoes in this bed are looking great. And then we've also got beans in this bed. And these are the cucumbers that I planted before we left for our trip. And when I put them out, I didn't think they would survive because they didn't even have their true leaves yet. But they look great. They're growing good, which is good because the other cucumbers have petered out. They're no longer producing, which is expected at this time of year. Pollinator bed, huge and overgrown. All this buddleia I need to deadhead, and it'll keep producing up till frost. So I need to deadhead all that. The rose is out of control. I need to just tuck some of these canes in so we can get by. We also have this salvia that has grown up like it does every year, and it hasn't produced its flowers yet. They are beautiful red flowers, and those come more towards fall. So we have some time on that. And then we've got just a whole variety of flowers in here that the pollinators have been loving all season. Our fruit trees, yeah, they're all right. They're looking rough because it's the end of the season, and the leaf tips are getting a little bit burned. These apples, thankfully, are still okay, have not been munched. Same with that bag down there. But the bag did not protect these, as you can see. So there was another bag of apples down here, and one of them was eaten and the other was not. So I harvested that one, even though it was real small, and it was yummy. So I think what happens is they climb, or they can jump from the fence here right to this tree easily to eat those apples. Okay, coming into the other part of the raised bed. This is the birdie's bed garden. These are all beans, but they are a dry soup mix. So these are all beans to be dried. They're going to dry on the vine, and then we'll harvest them and shell them. And then there are California black-eyed peas in here. And over here is random mustards that not only can we eat on, but I mean, they're going to flower, so they're not going to get that big because it's hot. But this is also to fumigate the soil, because we had our potatoes here this year and they got early blight. So, and you can see how much the soil level has dropped. We'll get a big shipment of compost and really top off these beds before winter sets in. Over here, we've got a handful of carrots that actually germinated. I don't know if they'll get big enough to give us anything. And we do have some watermelon plants here that are spreading and flowering, but I think it's too late in the season for them to get to produce any fruit. So we'll see how that goes. Tomatoes, these guys are producing fruit. I desperately need to tie them up more. This is a Florida weave system, and as you can see, they are not being well supported right now because I haven't given them extra layers, which they really need. But we do have fruit on them, which is great, and there's more down there, even some in bags. We do have one that I never trellised that's just laying here, which is fine. We've got some Magic 8-ball squash there, which I actually should harvest. It's starting to look old because it's turning colors. I'll come through and do that tomorrow. More squashes here, which even though they're continuing to flower, I think we might have gotten all that we're going to get out of them for the season. I mean, I could be wrong, but we have had a nice harvest of squash. This is Orangium, sea holly, that already bloomed. I cut the bloom stalks off, and I'm just leaving the greenery because it's feeding the soil, and it's actually providing a little bit of support for these tomatoes. So then down here are the cucumbers. Let me get my shadow out of there. These are the ones that produce for us all season, and they're just pretty much done, and that's totally fine. To be expected. That's why I started that other succession. We've got some black Hungarian peppers here, which I'm looking forward to tasting. And then when I planted cucumbers over here, they just didn't do anything. It was terrible. We've got some beans that are starting back there, but I don't know what it was about this section here. They just looked awful the whole time. And all of these beans that have been planted, they're right next to the water, but they're just not growing. Maybe it's because it's been so hot. Because these are runner beans here, and although they're growing, they aren't flowering. So maybe it's just a heat issue. I have one more melon over there and some other beans in that bed, which has been a very unproductive bed all year. I think it's, even though it works geometrically with the garden, I think just it gets too much shade, not enough sun, and things just don't grow in it. And then we've still got some yellow squash in here that needs to be harvested, as well as, oh, and this is just a mallow that popped up out of nowhere. And then this is another yellow squash, but it's getting too big. I did direct sow a whole bunch of Chinese red noodle beans here, and only 3 popped up. So hopefully they will continue to grow and we'll actually get a harvest off of them. And then this is just beans that are no longer being productive, but I don't want to clean them out yet. Again, as long as I have something living in the soil, it's feeding the soil. And then here we've just got nasturtium and some peppers that never produced. And then of course our pomegranate, passion fruit, there's 2 fruits up here and they are not yet ready for harvest. And we've got loud girls here. We've got somebody broody again too, which is kind of a bummer, but okay. Sweet alyssum looking beautiful. All of this stuff, I already have a crop plan for the fall garden, so all of this stuff will come out and get replaced with seedlings that I haven't started yet. But they will be started starting next week, over the next couple of weeks. And as they grow out, we'll be popping them out here in places I've already planned. Now you can see lots of powdery mildew, absolutely expected this time of year. It's not really causing a problem because you can see the new growth is bright green. I don't usually stress over powdery mildew too much. You know, it's just part of the garden. One thing I'm really excited about is the squash patch this year. The pumpkins and winter squash is actually doing well. So we've got a number of specimens in here that I'm super excited about. I've never really had luck with these guys before, and they are actually looking good. I am very, very excited. This makes me want to have, oh, here's just the shiso is like spreading like crazy. It's looking beautiful. It's making me want to have an even bigger squash patch next year, which is hard to believe, but I'll probably put in a big one out at the farm too. I just love them so much, and they're popping up everywhere. We've got one on the fence back there. I'm just really, really happy about this. Love, love, love winter squash. This beautiful guy. So I'm very excited about this harvest, and it's still probably a month or more away. So that's exciting. And they're continuing to produce flowers and be pollinated. Artichokes looking really rough. Very soon, I'm going to cut them off at the stalk at the base there, and then they'll rejuvenate and come back next year. But you can see this guy, he's finally producing. There's a big artichoke here, not that big. It's about fist size. And then a baby right there. I have 3 more artichoke seedlings that are in the greenhouse, not ready to come out yet, but when they are, they'll go in up here and we'll have a nice patch of perennial vegetables there. Aiden we're borrowing somebody's e-bike for Aiden to try out because he said he thinks he wants one. And if he does, then that will be his 17th birthday gift. So he's about to take it on his maiden voyage. But it is rush hour right now and there's lots of cars and it makes me nervous because we live on a country road where people go very, very fast. Okay, so the last thing I need to show you. So this is the peony and daffodil bed, and obviously the daffodils are long gone. The peonies, some of them are still looking okay. I mean, this is not a problem. This is what they do. They will die back. I will cut them back, but you can see a lot of leaf burn from just the intense heat we get in the summertime. So this bed, this fall, I will probably be growing a lot of lettuces and stuff because they don't have deep roots, and I'll be able to grow a number of crops of it, utilize this space, and then nothing will come up until like February. So that should be good. I'm going to relocate down here. For some reason, we've got these weird wasps. They're also in the chicken run, but so far they don't seem to sting. They look like wasps. But but they're real bad up here at the front of the garden. I don't know why. Not sure what they're eating. I get what they're eating in the chicken run. Anyway, I don't like them landing on me. It makes me nervous. So that, in a nutshell, is the August garden. And I'm really, really happy about the squashes. Thrilled about the squashes. I'll actually, for once, get a decent harvest, hopefully, as long as nothing comes along and eats them. And I'm also very, very excited about planting the fall garden, but earlier than usual. I'm going to, like I said, start the seeds, and I'll just show you guys in another video what I'm going to be planting. I've already set that up in seed time, and they're mapped out and where they're going to go. I'm not going to grow a winter garden here because it's not worth it. Not enough sun, first of all, very cold, and then also high pest pressure from the rodents in the wintertime. So the plan is to have an actual fall garden where the seeds get started this month. They go into the ground in September, late August, September, and then by the time we get our first frost in November, they're pretty much done and harvested out, hopefully. And some of them can overwinter. Carrots, beets, radishes, I'm fine with that. Well, I can tell it's still hot out here because even though I'm not in direct sun, the camera keeps overheating. So I'm going to go on and wrap up. Thanks for hanging out with me today, you guys. I hope you enjoyed that short but sweet August veggie garden tour. I'm really excited about it. Definitely let me know how things are going in your garden. It's been a rough year for a lot of people, so I hope that you are having some measure of success and some enjoyment out of it. Thank you again so much for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful time in your garden, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.